Morning, all. All right, so we've got ourselves 8 games tonight, and here's a magnet I haven't had on the hockey board, anyways, and that's the Kevin Malone from The Office magnet. So we'll get to him and all the wonderment that awaits us there. So it's a lighter night than expected. Again, we'll talk about it. At 7 p.m. Eastern, we've got 5 games starting, so that's 4 o'clock Pacific. The Washington Capitals in against the New York Rangers. The Washington Capitals 6-1-3, and the Rangers 3-4-2. These two teams have a very long history. I don't expect this game to take very long before things get kind of snippy between them. And remember, that's 8 times they're going to meet each other. For the Rangers, it's important you show you can beat Washington and start to get that record in order, because 3-4-2 is teetering. And if they lose that one tonight, well, with with 56 game season, it doesn't take long to fall out of contention. Also at 7 o'clock Eastern, with their first meeting, the Nashville Predators, who are 4-5, and against the 5-0-1 Florida Panthers. The Nashville Predators, they need to turn it around as well. So for Florida, they haven't lost in regulation yet. Honestly, if I was a betting man, I'd probably take Nashville in this. Just looking at the records, I'd say, yeah, I'll take Nashville. But hey, I'm not, and there's a reason I'm not. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But for Nashville, their first meeting with Florida this year, we'll see if that becomes a good rivalry or if it's one of those games that's just sort of there. Some of these rivalries are going to be like that. At 7 o'clock Eastern, the Dallas Stars and Columbus Blue Jackets meet for the second time in 3 days. The first meeting, of course, Dallas wins 6-3. This is the second game for Patrick Laine in Columbus. Columbus now 4-4-3. Dallas 5-1-1. And I think it's pretty obvious that Columbus needs that goal scoring from Laine. And the sooner that he gets accustomed to his new line mates and teammates and he gets things going, the better. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Columbus tonight. And for Dallas, of course, they're off to their hot start. Some nights they look great, some nights not as much, but still they're 5-1-1. We'll see how far this can go. 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific. The Ottawa Senators 1-8-1 in against the Montreal Canadiens, who are 7-1-2. Ottawa's brought up Eric Brandstrom. Braden Coburn, who cleared waivers yesterday, he is now with the taxi squad, so Brandstrom will be in the lineup. This is the first meeting of 10 games that Montreal has against Ottawa. If Montreal can feast on Ottawa, again, there could be some really gaudy records in the North if teams can feast on Ottawa the way that early season returns would tell you that they should be able to do. But again, Montreal 7-1-2, Ottawa 1-8-1. I would put up the it's a trap magnet, the Akbar magnet, because I think it's a trap game. But it's more difficult this year because they're division rivals. You don't have Ottawa on the radar if you're, say, Dallas. You don't have, just this random matchup where you're like, oh, we should be able to beat these guys, and suddenly you lose. So because it's all divisional matchups, it's harder for me to justify those magnets. But we'll see as the season goes along. Like if Montreal wins 6 in a row against Ottawa, maybe by that 7th, I say, all right, it's officially a trap game, but we'll see. At 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, the Vancouver Canucks looking to turn around their fortune, 6-7 against Toronto, who are 7-2-1. Canucks announcing this morning that McEwen's out, Virtanen's in, and Demko's going to start. Okie dokie. So this is the first meeting of 9. Toronto can absolutely make it difficult for the Vancouver Canucks. The next 3 Vancouver plays will be in Toronto. That could really help decide their fate. Again, they're 13 games into a season. It's got 56 games in it, so they're over. Let's see, yeah, they're about 20% of the way through the season. So yeah, that's how quick this happens, and we'll talk about why at the end of this video. Carolina 6-1 in against Chicago at 3-4-4. That starts at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific, along with 2 other games, meaning there's going to be 8 games on at once. So I'm going to be very busy for the first couple of hours I do this. And yet it's going to be done relatively early tonight. So I'm wearing Chicago because I think, again, that gaudy 6-1 record for Carolina, I wouldn't be surprised if Chicago beats them tonight. It's going to require another really solid goaltending appearance for Chicago, which they've been getting lately from Lankinen without much trouble. And the last start that was put in by Malcolm Subban was pretty good too. So 2 days ago, Carolina wins in a shootout 4-3 over Chicago. It's a close game, so I'm going to go ahead and say maybe Chicago takes this one. So and then they even the record at 4-4-4, staying in the hunt. At 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific, the Arizona Coyotes in against St. Louis. Arizona's 3-5-1. And for St. Louis, they're 7-2-1. And again, with the records being as they are, Arizona needs this tonight. They need it badly. They lost the first meeting 2 nights ago, 4-3. So for St. Louis, they can run their record to 8-2-1. And for Arizona, they're trying to get closer to 500 and try to get on a roll here because things are going fast. We don't know how many games we're going to have for every division necessarily, because that's a question now from a lot of people as well. How many games are we going to get? And we'll see. But I do think it's important to make sure you're off to a good start. Also, at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific, the Calgary Flames in against the Winnipeg Jets. The Winnipeg Jets are now 6-3-1. The Calgary Flames are 4-4-1. So these teams have met each other 3 times already in Winnipeg. Winnipeg won in an overtime game on January 14th, 4-3. Calgary then won in a shootout 4-3, February 1st. And then 2 days ago, the Winnipeg Jets beat Calgary 3-2. All 5 remaining games after tonight are in Calgary. So for Winnipeg, make hay, get her done, win this one tonight because all 5 meetings between these teams from here going forward are in Calgary. And of course, we have 3 postponed games tonight. Buffalo and the Islanders, New Jersey and Pittsburgh, Minnesota and Colorado. And I've got the Kevin Malone magnet there because it was a good luck charm for the Washington football team with the power rankings. It sure seemed to be that they won. So I'm doing that to kind of like maybe bring some good luck to the NHL that we won't see so many postponements going forward. And things get run a little bit better because, as has been shown, the rumors of shutdowns and stuff, it doesn't take long, it doesn't take much. But again, remember, the NHL came into this season saying that they wanted to play a maximum of 56 games, that if they couldn't play all the games, winning percentage would likely be what decides who makes the playoffs, which makes these gaudy records more important. And there was the idea, too, that if at some point in time they needed to move into a modified bubble scenario, they're able and ready to do that. So if this gets worse, and if they say, all right, we're going to have to pause things, I would look for some sort of modified bubbles if they did do that. But I think we're a long ways away from that. And this is just a matter of the New Jersey one, the New Jersey outbreak hit Buffalo. And so those 2 are connected. And now we've got one in Minnesota. So it definitely makes it look really bad. But it's a matter of them getting their house together, or we see what they do from here. But they've been aware right from the start. The 56 games, that might be optimistic. But we've already seen which teams look pretty good this year. And as long as we have a balanced schedule, I'm not worried so much about how many games we have played. But hey, we'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below and your winners for tonight's games. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just tap it upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I'll talk to you again soon.